Hi, I'm Megan, and here's what readers are saying about Shelter Me by Amy Briggs. A very cute story about two people that come together to help the animals. Liv and Mateo, originally at odds and don't want to open themselves up at first to try anything other than the current situation. The book showed resilience through tragedy. Maybe the most worthwhile pursuits demand persistence and dedication and the courage to stay when leaving seems easier. I would recommend this book to everyone. Anna from Goodreads. Shelter Me is a very quick read, great for a lunchtime read or something quick before bed. The FMC and MMC are drawn to each other right off the bat, creating an insta love kind of thing. Great read about helping animals that are displaced by storms and flooding, and two broken, damaged hearts that find a chance to let their walls down and believe in love again. Kelly from Goodreads. Shelter Me by Amy Briggs is part of the Hope Runs Deep multi-author charity collection, with 50% of proceeds going to Texas flood relief. It is a novella-length contemporary romance with some forced proximity, emotional angst, drama, and finding love unexpectedly. What happens when an animal rescue business owner is thrust together with a disaster response veterinarian as a storm surges through their world? In more ways than one. The story has a great premise, and I did like the characters in the animal rescue slash DR vet forced proximity aspect of the story, but it was over much too quickly for my liking, as I would have loved more time to fully immerse myself in the story and get to know them so much better. At only 65 pages, this made for a very quick and easy read. Happy reading, Angela from BookBub. It was a quick little read. It's crazy reading a story about floods happening in Texas after the tragedy that happened there not too long ago. Liv is living her life just going through the motions day in and day out until veterinarian Mateo Rivera waltzes in offering help. Liv is skeptical because all she wants to do is help the animals she's rescued and provide a safe place for them. But she learns that maybe she can trust Mateo on a professional level. After all, he just wants to help the animals and make sure they are okay medically. Mateo is a veterinarian and is sent where disaster strikes and where help is needed. He just never imagined just where it would land him. He can tell Liv is not a very trusting type, and there's a reason for that. So not only is he focused on caring for the animals, he also wants to get to know the real Liv. As they were just getting everything in order, another storm rolls in, making them have to make quick decisions. Some lines are crossed and boundaries are opening up, but are either of them ready for something more? Mateo is used to moving from disaster to disaster, but what if this time he wants to stick around? Is Liv willing to let him in? Starry from Amazon. An enjoyable and engaging story which kept me happily turning the pages. Disaster response veterinarian Mateo arrives in the flood-ravaged sagebrush crossing, ready to help the animals. He had planned on moving on to the next crisis as he usually does, but then he meets the owner of Hope Tales Rescue, Liv. Having sworn off complications, Liv is not looking for love, especially not with a vet who will be moving on to the next crisis, who will be leaving when his assignment finishes. However, when Liv and Mateo have to take shelter together during a second storm, their chemistry is undeniable. This fairly short story is fast-paced and full of drama and romance. I love the likable and relatable Liv and Mateo, whose chemistry really comes across in the narrative. Jenny from Amazon. And that is what readers are saying about Shelter Me by Amy Briggs. Happy reading.